working? He saw the GoPro and the Mustang said no. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another amazing video. As you can see, only the greatest things happen when it rains. So again, don't forget, at itsjustasix.com, you can grab anything like this hat, this shirt, and you might be taking home the title, keys, and cash to either this Ducati Hypermotard, that Corvette Grand Sport, or this SRT10 Viper V10 manual truck. Don't forget, we have all new designs live right now. And so with that being said, guys, let's hop into today's upload. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Behind me, we have the 2024 Mustang, and over here on this table are a ton of parts that Lethal Performance sent over, including a Whipple Supercharger kit, some headers, and a whole bunch of fuel accessories and goodies that we're gonna get into in just a moment. But before we get started transforming this thing from a stock slow S650 into a Whipple Supercharged monster, I gotta give a huge shout out to Lethal Performance. If you guys wanna go check out parts just like this or anything else for your car, make sure you go to lethalperformance.com and use the code IT'sJustA6 to save you a ton at checkout. Let's go ahead and start walking through everything we have on the table. Obviously, we've got our Whipple Supercharger here with the Lethal Performance lid up here. That looks pretty sick, including obviously the red powder coat to match the color of the car. Over here as well, they went ahead and sent us over some Cook's headers. These are long tube catless headers, which are going to sound ridiculous and flow a ton of air, being that we're adding a ton of air on this side anyways. Speaking of air, these giant dual intakes are going to be force feeding air into that supercharger through this Whipple throttle body, which is so massive and billet. I gotta mention, that's beautiful. And to compensate for all of that additional air, we've got additional fuel as well. Check it out. Fuel rails, we've got new injectors in here. We've even got different pulley sizes, a fuel pump booster, and everything needed to make this car make a ton of power. We even have the Whipple device. This is how you flash on the calibration to be able to run all these additional changes with no problem. Now that you guys have seen everything on the table, let's go ahead and bust this car apart, take off the stock parts, and get started installing everything that we need to get this thing boosted. Let's go. So first step, we probably need to put this thing up on the lift. And now you guys can hear the last cold start with this factory setup. Even though it does sound pretty aggressive already, we're gonna be making it way more aggressive in this video. And there we go. That's the last time that you guys are gonna hear this exhaust setup. On here right now, we just have that Corsa catback, which again was sent over by Lethal Performance, so huge thanks to them. It sounds so super aggressive, but just wait until you see how crazy it's about to sound. We're gonna get this thing lifted off the ground, but you guys actually don't even need a lift to do any of the stuff that we're doing today. Keep that in mind. First step before boosting any car, we definitely gonna make sure that this engine bay is all cleaned out. Don't wanna pull back the intake and drop in a acorn or anything. And now that the car is on the lift arms, we can lift it up a little bit just to make sure it's not gonna wiggle off. Oh yeah, locked up safely, chalked up. Now the luxury of these Whipple kits, guys, is you have amazing instructions. Huge shout out to these guys, man. This is something that you don't really see often. The instructions that they have in here are unbelievably amazing. Like, we're talking color coordinated. We're talking step by step, multiple different colors and diagrams and everything. It's just amazing, man. Step number one. So now we can take our little tool, and before we disconnect the battery, we're gonna grab the stock calibration off of here. Internet access required. Oh no. All right, let's plug it in. This thing stores the stock, so technically, in case you do want to go back, you have the option to. I lied. That's even better. Turn the ignition to the on position. Connect the Tomahawk tool to the OBD factory port down there. Got that. Using the toggle buttons, select request cal file. All right, let's go down. And so we actually have to pull the stock file off of here, send it over to Whipple so that they have something to reference, and then they send back the tune. Okay, easy enough. We got the SD card pulled out of the bottom, and now we should be able to submit this. There we go. Your message has been received, and a representative will reply within 24 hours. Next step, we're gonna get underneath this rear seat back here. Behind the driver's seat, you guys will see our rear seat here. And this is actually super simple to access. You can't really see it, but if you put your hand right here in between this seat, you'll feel like a plastic tab. You can push in and lift up, and it slips out of place, and the seat comes out super, super easy. Over here on the driver's side, right by this driver's side door, you can see this whole fuel pump control module. You can unplug this here, and we
just needed to have that disconnected. Here later, we're gonna put a fuel pump booster using these connectors, and it's actually gonna add more voltage to our factory fuel pump to keep up with the horsepower, but for now, that's all we gotta do. So now that we have the fuel pump disconnected over here, we're actually gonna start the car up, which makes sense. I was wondering in my head, I'm like, why would they have the battery needing to get disconnected after the fuel pump? But okay, yep, here we go. Yeah, this is the last NA start right here. Here we go. I wonder how long it's gonna run for. We have no fuel pump connected. It's just burning out the fuel. Bro, there's so much more fuel in the rails and shit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot more fuel than I thought.
A whole bunch.
How much fuel? Oh, okay. It says the fuel pressure system must be relieved. Failure to do so can result in injury.
In injury?
Yeah, it says that it's that high pressure, apparently. After the engine stalls, crank the engine for approximately 10 seconds to make sure the fuel injector supply pressure has been completely released. Oh yeah? Okay, that was it then. Next step, turn ignition to off. Then reconnect the fuel pump module back here. 10 mil, disconnect the battery. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. A skid tray out the way. Would you mind taking a grab? Thank you, thank you. Way past this cooler up here, there's like a harness right here, right? You can feel it and guide your hand way up there. There it is once you disconnect it. That should be the whole harness, I'm pretty sure, for that active grill up front, which is insane to think about, but yeah. Fender liner out of the way. Both these bumper bolts are out, and this plastic, oh dude, that's so nice. There's like a whole plastic reinforcement piece to hold it all clamped in the proper spot. And this bumper is ready to be disconnected over here. Oh my goodness, dude, that's so easy on these cars. Let's go, Ford. Radiator cover out of the way next. So now the bumper, in theory, should be ready to come off too. So we'll go ahead and remove these big bolts up here. Now the bumper is ready to come off. You wanna grab it? Boom powder. Let's go. Nice, good shit. Oh yeah, alrighty. I'll lift up with that one first. There you also. All right, yep. Next up, engine cover just pops off. Oh yeah, now that's the Coyote I'm used to looking at. So we got the connector off, we got the little mount off. Now we got to get this little PCV evap hose off. There we go. Now we're gonna do the same exact thing to this side. Oh brother. Yeah. Gotta be careful with the MAF sensors. We're gonna reuse those. Oh yeah, out of the way. Now we need to go ahead and get the throttle bodies disconnected and set those connectors out of the way. It's funny, we're taking away 2 throttle bodies and replacing it with just 1. As you guys can see, we got the coolant drained out down here. Let me push these under here and spin these heater hoses out and get them well out of the way. And now you guys can see these are the fuel pressure fittings that we're about to have to disconnect. That one and this one here. So, you know, let's go ahead and disconnect this too while we're at it. So after these hoses are moved out of the way like we just did, we're gonna disconnect the factory fuel feed hose from the fuel rail. This fuel system may still have pressure, keep in mind. Safety squad. Oh.
No pressure at all.
All right, next up we can remove the 410s that are holding the fuel rails down. This is the fuel pressure sensor here. We're gonna disconnect that. All right, so we're preparing, I'm assuming now, to remove the intake manifolds. There we go. Manifold out. So underneath here, you can see the runners going down into the engine, which already have some oil in them because of the fact that we haven't had a catch can. So we definitely need to get a catch can. That's what I was gonna say next, nice. Now we need to vacuum out these runners. That way we don't get any dirt down in there. You see how much oil is already in the runners from no catch can? That's what the EPA wants you to do to your engine right there.
Emissions, this saves the world.
Yep, burn more of your unburnt fuel and oil. Just send it right into your intake. Now using a 15, we'll get that tensioner loosened up to pull the belt. There we go. Let's get that belt pulled off, and this is the last time that I think we'll be running this belt. Yeehaw. This is the first time obviously really working on the new Coyote, and so far I really approve. Next up, we can remove the entire tensioner bracket itself from the engine because we're not going to be reusing that. And yeah, check this out, okay? We had this little tiny thing, okay? Ping, little tin looking unit. Look at this, dude. Bruh. Oh my. Oh my. Next up, we could fully remove this water pump pulley. We gotta put this back on shortly, so I can't lose that.
You know what time it is?
I'm thinking.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's about that time.
You wanna get the car lifted?
Cooks.
Cooks. So at this point, we have everything for the supercharger ready for install. We get to modify the last little bit of this to get it all to work, but where we're getting at here is this is technically the time where we get to, since everything's up top is removed and disassembled, we got a lot of room underneath to lift this engine. It's time to get the car up in the air to install those. These massive Cooks catless long tube headers. That is where the most sound and performance is going to come from, especially on a boosted car. It's going to flow a ton more air out of the exhaust. So this is definitely crucial for what we're aiming at with horsepower goals and everything. Plus, you just can't beat the sound of that. Up with the car we go. We're going to put this to the side on the same page and pick up here shortly. But for now, headers are going on. See this giant pipe? Look at how this reducer, the bulbs down and just goes so small to this miniature little pipe. Oh no. Yeah, so we're replacing that with this. Like, let me just grab this. Look at this, dude. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Quite insane.
It really is. I'm gonna go ahead and get this entire undershroud removed from the car. That way we have better access to the oil pan and everything. Now, typically you don't have to do this for the Whipple install, of course, but while we're down here, we need to remove the steering shaft just to give us a little bit more room to work with for this header install. Now you guys can see we have so much more room, but the next step that we're gonna do, we need to get this engine mount out of the way. We've got this engine support. It's like a little engine lift, right? And it comes in really handy for this kind of a job. What we're trying to do is support the engine up, free float it. That way we can remove the engine mounts from each side and hopefully have a lot better access to the bolts that we need to bolt in these headers. So this thing comes in handy because we can take one side here, you want to take the other side over there, and then we can figure out where to set it. But what we're thinking is maybe we can put it right here. Check me out. Oh yeah, this is gonna work perfect. Oh yeah, dude. All right, so now you can see that we've got these chains attached here. What this is gonna allow us to do is lift up just the engine once we remove the engine mounts down there. So that way we can lift this up about 1 inch and give us a whole lot more access to those header bolts. Motor mount nut out of the way. So now this engine should be able to just lift up freely. So check it out. We'll just crank up on the hoist a little bit. So you guys may or may not be able to see, but down through there, the engine is completely free floating now. So the goal now is that we can remove the motor mounts themselves now that it's just up here floating, and it's gonna give us a whole lot more room. We'll be able to swing those up, pull them out of the way, and then we'll just see the engine block with the headers bolted up to the heads right, just perfectly visible. Oh yes, sir. Hit that dude. Oh, yeah, dude. Brother. There you go. Now the whole entire engine mount bracket comes out of the way, and look at this. You're worried about getting to the header bolts? What?
Oh, that just made life really easy,
right? Now we've got a ton of room in here. We can get all of these header bolts broken loose. As you notice, these have already been lubed up. That way we don't have any of them break off. Not very common on these cars, but just want to be safe. Let's go. And we're not going to reuse those. We have very, very nice hardware that we're going to be putting in instead. Check this out. These are from Stage 8 Motorsports. They come with these headers, but they are locking fasteners. You don't have to worry about these coming loose. They look amazing and they're extremely strong. So that is going to go great with these headers. It's crazy because whenever I first started this channel, this was one of the first jobs that I ever did to a Coyote, was doing headers. And this was like the most intimidating, difficult thing in the world at the time. But now we have every tool for everything, and it just makes this all a breeze, bro. That was the last nut for the headers. There we go. Oh my gosh, bro. We're gonna have to pull these O2 sensors out shortly, but dude, that is so massive. And of course, this is our catalytic converter that is extremely, extremely restrictive. We don't like that. Mer, we don't fuck with cats around here, huh? Mer? Cat delete?
Cat delete.
Mer, we're about to do a cat delete in here. You might want to leave. Factory gasket removed. Let me see, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these are bolts, so we definitely have to remove the studs out of there, which means that we'll get an inverted Torx. Oh yeah, dude. Dude, it looks so interesting over here without anything there. go. Brother, the passenger side header on these cars, let me tell you, that's a time. That's a little bit of a challenge, okay? We had to add an additional lift support back here. We'll take pressure off of that now. Both of the factory exhaust manifolds are removed out of the way, which means now we can de-stud this side. This side's already ready for install. And after that, we can start slapping up our new big old long tubes in place. Now guys, you see, we've got our new gaskets here. They are ready to get installed onto the car, but check it out. We've got this giant new hardware, and I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. Take your gasket, throw the bolts in it, and then come up under yonder. I'm gonna show you something cool. Oh shit. With the lower bolts in and the gasket up in place, you can take the header, you can set it up here, like yonder. We're gonna just rest it on these bolts, like so. Now all we need is one single bolt up top to hold it down, or we can even just tighten one of these a little bit more. As you can see now, the manifold is sitting up in place. We've got all the bolts on the bottom in line. That one up top is clamping down just to hold everything still. But bro, what a transformation. Like, look at that. Damn, cuz. And we still have good clearance for our steering shaft, which a lot of aftermarket headers do not. Keep that in mind. So definitely make sure you purchase the right ones through lethalperformance.com using code it's just 6. Don't want to have fitment issues, do we? On this side here, Mr. Poe. This has been a fight getting these headers tightened down, but we've got all of the bolts in place, and now Poe's just gotta go in with a wrench and click by click tighten all 10 of these down to 20 foot-pounds, right? 20 foot-pounds? We just finished tightening up the header bolts from the top side. I'm not gonna lie, this is very tough to do on any Coyote car, but the 2024s especially are not the easiest thing in the world to install headers on, but we got it taken care of. It's all done. And watch this. If you guys can see, on every single fastener is a locking tab and clip that we installed, and these are going to keep these from ever backing loose. As you can see, these lock in place, and if the bolt wanted to spin loose, it would hit this tab right up against that runner of the header, therefore keeping it in place and not having any exhaust leaks in the future ever. Let's see if we can fit this thing back in place with the header.
This one is quite perfect, so I'll go ahead and get this started.
And we can bolt this back to the block over here as well. Check me out, dude. Jake Sousa, bro, you are my hero. This dude is a channel member, right? My boy sent over this sick oil drain for us. He is a channel member. We opened it up on this live stream. And now this is the first time that we're gonna be able to use it. And check it out, dude, on the inside of here. Oh, we're already dripping, hello. We've got this really cool mesh, so that way you can see if there's anything weird going on or anything strange in the oil. So that is seriously awesome, man. Thank you so much again, Jake. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see how it works. Oh, snap. Taking fluid like a champ. That AMSOIL looks abused, brother. Who's been driving like that? It was Jess. Jess has been driving like that. I love this. Now we can just set our drain plug. Oh, no, we can't. Is this open or closed? Oh, that would be why. Did you hear that? Oh yeah, and it was just up there doing that.
I like how there was almost a mishap with the oil drain.
Bro, again, and like,
this long.
I didn't know, I knew this was open, but I didn't know that this had to be, but it makes sense. Okay. It really hit the, yeah, I could feel that there was some PSI from all the weight and oil up here on this side. But anyways, I was just about to say, we're gonna have to wait till this drains, but I was gonna say, now you can just set your drain plug in the foam little section there. Yeah, so we'll let that just continue to drain in there. But now this foam is super sick for oil filters. You can drain them on it. So for those of you guys that love watching the black car in the original phase, whenever it was a stick shift blower car making a ton of power, you all have been wondering why I didn't change up and go back to the stick shift and everything. And truthfully, this car has been on the horizons for a build for a long freaking time. And finally, we're here. God. Both headers are tightened down, starter back in place, everything is tight. The last thing we need to do is put those motor mount nuts back on up top, but dude, look at the freaking runners through the wheel well. Perfect. And that worked out freaking flawless, brother. Let's get it. Now, You can see way down in there, the motor mount is on the stud. That one is as well. So we can loosen this thing down and take the tension off. You can literally watch it just lower down onto that stud. Cook's peeking through. That is so awesome, bro. Super carefully, you're gonna walk over here with this whole root style blow. Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh my. What? That's just got real, dude. What even, bro? It's that time where you take that thing and you do that thing. Let's go. Nice. There's the first time seeing the supercharger relatively assembled. Huge shout out to Lethal Performance yet again for sending this whole entire kit over, including these Cook's headers down here and all the components needed to make this car make insane horsepower. Go check them out, lethalperformance.com, and use code It's Just a 6 again. Save a ton of money at checkout. The fitment of this kit is phenomenal. Even in the prior generation Whipples on their firewall clearance, it's been tough, but this is actually mad impressive. Everything seems to be fitting flawlessly. No cutting or trimming even required. Connect the factory passenger side rail fitting to the factory direct injection hose. Then after the passenger side, connect the driver's side as well. Alrighty, there we go. Get that put in. Now that we got everything transferred over, just put that in like so. Beautiful. Next up, we're gonna get started mounting up the entire heat exchanger there. Now that the supercharger's all in the way, these are gonna serve as spacers, but also threaded inserts, so that way we'll be able to attach that heat exchanger with some bolts on the back of here. All right, you can see I've got all 4 of these mounts in place. We can set this baby in place as well, so swing it down here. Make sure to scratch every single one of the radiator cooling fins on the way up. There we go, dude. Heat exchanger held up into place almost. Nice and sturdy, dude. That looks so cool. Heat exchanger is in place. So we're gonna take out this stud up here and replace it with this doohickey. Hold on, set that over there. This goes right here. There we go. Look at that, dude. Supercharger coolant reservoir is installed. That is so sick. And now we can go ahead and install this water line. Let's go. It's absolutely beautiful. Intercooler pump in place down there. Bottom line brought over to the heat exchanger. I'll route that down there. Now we're gonna temporarily just set that up in place for the moment. This is the other side. And this one gets routed down. And then over to this Y. And then at the back of here. This goes from the front side of this over and around. Carry that over. We're gonna go down through this. Connect that right here temporarily, just so we get an idea. All right, radiator hose back on. Don't you jump up here, you little bitch.
2 seconds later.
Bro, just get down. Oh my God, bro, just get down. Homie, just get down. Come here. Brother, that is looking almost like an assembled Whipple kit, dude. Look at this. BBL Jersey, BBL Jersey. As you can see, that looks like everything for cooling lines. It looks like the next instructions, we already need to have the body control module and the fuse box back in place. So I know you didn't do it anyway. Bro, he's so good with it. He's so sneaky. He got in the car anyway. Merle, how are you so sneaky? How? Next up, we got to do our relay harness for the intercooler pump. So right now we're just going to set this all out of the way. I don't know exactly where that's going to go, but I do know where I want to mount this underneath here out of the way. So I'm going to use a 10mm, get way up under there. We'll put this relay in and then we'll reinstall it. This is called an add a fuse. So what we are doing is adding a fuse. There we go. We are essentially adding a fuse onto that ignition, I'm assuming, right? And we're routing it down through the fuse box here. And then I gotta cut a hole in the cover to let it poke out. Throttle body goes on next. Bro, look at how big, brother. I mean,
That's so much displacement in there.
this is a gargantuan throttle body. This is the mammoth of all throttle bodies that I have seen. This is just absurd. It's so goofy. How are we running this on a Mustang? What on earth is this thing? It deserves a whole name. Like, this car has got to be named. We had originally named it Pepper, but like, this seems so wrong. It's so large. Dude, at this point, we're like really almost done. Now we can plug the MAF back in as well. We'll rotate this backwards. What time is it? 3:48.
It's not even that late.
The next day.
All right, I am determined that today is going to be the day that we are finished with this car. Last night, we finished working on this thing at like 4 a.m. We went to bed. I just woke up. It's like, I don't even know what time it is, dude. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Ridiculous. But anyways, this car is almost completely done. As you can see, all the harnesses have been secured up out of the way. Our belt system is completed. The intake is on, filters in place. Of course, the entire Whipple and all the lines are in place. Even down to the bottom, you guys can see our heat exchanger is now completely installed. The final step of the engine install before assembling stuff on the bottom and all the bracing and everything is this PCV, bro. This is insane. So typically we would route this under here and connect it just like so into our intake. But as you guys saw when we were taking this thing apart, we don't want to put that back in. The runners on the intake had tons of oil in it, which leads me to believe that there's already enough crankcase pressure in A to be pushing it into the intake. After this boost is installed, of course, we do not want the extra crankcase pressure to push even more oil into the intake. And that is where J&L comes in handy, man. Huge shout out J&L for sending this over. This is their oil separator. I'm not exactly sure on where we're gonna mount this, being that this Whipple kit is brand new. We're gonna custom rig this one up a little bit to make it work. The general idea here, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, of course, but I'm gonna freestyle a little bit. I'm thinking what I wanna do is try to get this mounted somewhere down here. You want this to be easily accessible, right? This thing fills up with oil, and every other oil change, you wanna come in here, drain this catch can, and empty it out. This will be full of gunk, usually. So there's a mesh grill in here. It's like a little screen, as you can see. That keeps all of the gunk and oil from getting into the intake. It separates it, i.e. oil separator, and just lets air go into the intake instead of the oily air. So we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put this, but again, we wanna have this easily accessible. So I'm gonna probably put it somewhere down underneath this filter. Let's see what I can do. There we go, that one's connected. I've got this holding free in place right now. I'm not sure where it's going still, but as you can see, this one is connected to the PCV on this side, and this 90 should be able to click. Oh, dude. Now the only problem is that it's mounted upside down. Okay, I made a few changes to this. Obviously, you see this looks way different routed, but check it out. I think it might work. So the short one, we're gonna route underneath here again. This is obviously gonna have vacuum on it, so we wanna make sure that this is the side with the screen on it. And it'll just click in like that, perfect. And there you go. You can see now that that is pretty much as good as it can get for a location to mount this. That is honestly incredible. We're gonna take this, screw it onto the bottom. That's that little can itself that catches all the oil. It's got an O-ring on it, so we're gonna tighten it down. So I'm flipping this bracket right now, and basically what I'm gonna do is tap a little hole right here, put a nut and bolt, and then we'll be able to attach this pretty easily, like so, and just have it dangling down out of the way underneath the intake itself, which is pretty sick. All right, so check it out. I've got this little insert, and I've also got a bolt here. I'm gonna take this little hole. As you guys can see, there's just a little convenient spot, right? I'm gonna take that, slip this tab into it like so. Now I have a threaded section. I'm gonna take this little bracket here. I'm gonna take this bolt, put it upside down. And now we should be able to get that thing in there. I had to make a short bolt because I realized my next problem was that hole that I chose is very close to this other piece of metal. So whenever I was going to tighten it in, it was definitely gonna hit. So now I got this shortened up. This should work out perfect.
I'm a very handy guy.
There we go, dude. Got the custom catch can installed on the 2024 Whipple Mustang. Lines ran to the intake to the PCV. We shouldn't be sucking up any more oil, no more debris, especially with a boosted crankcase. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Almost ready to start, actually. I think we just put the car back together now. I'm pretty positive, yeah. First bit of coolant going into the supercharger. We'll leave that like that. We'll swap it over to the coolant side and engine coolant going in. Wait, did I connect? Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
No, I didn't, dude. Holy
Oh
shit.
shit.
Damn, we would have had a big mess. I did not
Oh my
connect back the main water line down here. There we go.
At least you caught it.
Gotta make sure every single clamp is on and tight. Connectors are back connected. We've got all the water lines on, not leaving the radiator hose off. We torqued everything down. This definitely looks to be everything, so let's keep going. Let me pour the last little bit in here, and then we're probably about ready to start cycling some stuff. This is crazy. Underneath the rear seat of the car. This is the Lethal Performance. Again, huge shout out Lethal. This is their Fuel Plus fuel pump booster. So basically this is a voltage booster for the fuel pumps. It puts them in overdrive and essentially puts them on crack cocaine. They run like crazy. We are going to put this in place, tap a little ground, and then we gotta hide this back behind this panel. We're gonna pull this piece of foam out, just like on the older cars, and we're gonna replace this piece with this. It actually included some double-sided Velcro too that we'll be able to stick in there. So no rattle or vibration or anything. If you can see in here, I already went ahead and ground down a spot for the ground on this to go. Really good ground right there. All right, connector tab modified. There we go. All right, we got this Velcro. We're gonna stick it together, and then we'll pull off both sides of the adhesive. Stick one side to the device itself, and the other side is gonna get stuck to the inside of this plastic piece where we ripped that foam out. Stick that there. Pull this plastic back, and stick it on. There we go. I tuck that out of the way, and there you go. You would literally never know that that car has been modified if you were just looking at this as Ford Tech. Now we can put the seat back down, connect the battery.
At this point, we have everything done on the car. The last steps that we just need to do are connect the battery back. That seems insane. And here we go. What was that? Intercooler pump's working. That's what we needed to check.
It's sucking dry.
Drink. All right, so as you guys can see, the intercooler pump is working. You hear that thing? Oh yeah.
It's working well. You can tell it's moving a lot of water.
So with the ignition on, this is going to keep cycling water through the supercharger. Oh my. Dude, it really just sounded like a dishwasher. Oh, yep, there you go. It's dishwashing. Look at that, bro. What?
That is so cool.
Bro, that pump has some velocity to it. It's really moving some fluid. Oh my. I guess this is the final step. Get to flash our freaking tune calibration for the ECU onto the car. This has been a long time coming. For real, we have been thinking and talking and hoping for this exact moment for actually like 6-7 months. Back since September when we picked this car up. We first were talking to Lethal. They told us about this kit coming out. We were so hyped up. We knew that this day was coming for a long time, bro. Smash that like button. I'm so happy that we finally made this happen. Let's get this tune flashed on, and we are really just moments away from the first start with this thing.
The newest car we've ever worked on with the newest and best supercharger you can get for it.
Yes, and the most power setup with the best exhaust, the best everything. This is so wicked. Black car 2.0, but just way better. This is dumb. This really is. All right, battery charger is on over there. We've already got the SD card loaded up with our file from Whipple. That plugged in down there. Key on. And there you go. It is updating the device right now. Reprogramming the device. All right, let's go to programming. Software update. The specified calibration is available for download. Press enter to start. Oh my God, bro, it's doing it.
911 assist is not operational.
Uh-oh.
Please visit your dealer.
It's just me and you, Fo. Dude, I'm pretty sure that this thing's ready for a start, brother. Module programming complete. Dude, it's giving you like a little celebration. Let's go. I don't know how Whipple's tune is gonna go, but being that we do have long tube headers on the car, I am curious to see if the check engine light is going to come on, being that, you know, we don't have the, EPA people don't like what I'm about to say, but you know.
Good work, brother. Good work. Guess what? It's ready to start. Freaking tune is on. Everything is good to go. Final check. We're liking what we're seeing. It's exactly at the top hatch mark. These are brand new exhaust manifolds, of course, so probably gonna smoke a lot when we get this started up. I'm gonna open it up all the way, get some airflow in. Oh my gosh, dude, I can't even believe it. We ready?
Ready.
Oh, ready? All right, here we go. Cool. Start. Oh wait, I'm gonna prime it first. All right, it's starting fine, so it's about to kick over. Whipple's turning good? Nothing looks weird in the belt drive, huh?
The belt drive looks so crisp and clean.
Okay, cool. So that's the first test before we actually start it. Didn't want anything to be tangled up. Let's go ahead and give her a rip. Oh my God! The fucking black car. It's just louder. It's loud. It's louder. Ah, it's working. Hey, that's I swear to God, it's on video. That's 2,000 RPM. Oh my God. Coolant levels all look good. Temperatures look good. Everything sounds great. As you can see, we got lots of smoke, of course, which, like I said, this metal has to break in. Definitely gonna take a minute, but wow. So everything seems to be perfectly fine. She's taken away like no problem, man. Brother, this is so loud. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be nasty. This is just exactly how the black cars everything was. This is like literally giving me almost chills because it reminds me of the car so much. Everything, like the way it responds and all of it. This is insanity. Header's getting burned in already. Look, they're turning golden already over here.
Oh, that's so cool.
That quick. That's what all that smoke is in here.
Yeah.
Bro, I can hear the valves in the runners. If not the valves, and the little pitter patter of the air running through. Look at these wells, dude. Those look so cool. Damn,
Hey,
already.
Might I also tell you, like, you hear how clear and crisp those exhausts are? No leaks at all.
None.
Good job on the headers.
Good point. No leak up there whatsoever.
That's one thing you don't want to mess up, because if you have it apart, do it right the first time, never want to go back.
Damn straight, dude. Out the box tune. This car is ready to rip, man. I'm telling you, go check out Lethal Performance. You just go to Just the Six. Grab you a Whipple like this, even if it's not for a brand new 2024 Mustang. They sell Whipple kits for all kinds of different stuff. If you don't want a Whipple, at least get you some headers. If you don't want headers, at least grab some suspension parts. I'm in disbelief. The last steps from here, now that we verified that we have no leaks, all we gotta do is throw the bumper on this car, throw the under tray on this car, throw the radiator cover on, and we are good to roll down the road. We'll fast forward, and everything on the bottom side of the car is back assembled, so we can probably drop this down. Oh man, this is it. Wheels are on. We have one last thing to install. The final thing that we have to install before we can leave is the strut tower brace and our battery cover, and then we are completely done with this build. It goes in there.
Oh no.
As you guys can see, the car is on the ground. We are done, good to go. Finally, we get to go take this thing out on the street and go eat. I don't know which one I'm more excited for at this point. Dude, the grill, you would never ever know. It literally doesn't look any different from the outside of the car. This is the first drive, officially. Let's start it up, get it moved out, and see how it looks. All right, cold start. Well, kind of a hot start, but cold start. It's so cool seeing this outside finally completely done with all the changes, dude. It looks so good sitting up next to the Viper truck, which by the way, guys, don't forget, you can go to itsjustasix.com, grab anything like this shirt, a hat like this, a hoodie, and you might be taking home the title keys and cash to this truck. This thing is pretty sick, man. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, guys, we're gonna let this warm up. I'm gonna wash my hands and off on the road we go for the first drive. Let's go. First drive.
Wow, I'm super excited. It just drives like a normal car.
Goodness, it's so loud.
It's so loud.
Everything seems to be doing great so far.
Hearing the exhaust off the other cars.
Let's try the auto downshift. Oh man. Oh my God. That's, dude, I'm telling you, that is obviously, you can feel we're not going fast. It's like 10% throttle. It's just that loud.
Yeah. So I wonder what it's like under the
Oh my. For those of you that don't know, the black car was my staple car that like pretty much got me going on my YouTube channel. Blew everything up a ton. And it was this exact same setup. Later on, fast forward years later, and I've got a twin turbo setup in that car with a power glide, but it's just not quite the same as a stick shift supercharged car. And one day, we always had plans to build another, and finally, today is that day that it has finally come true again.
Just being able to do this in the shop at the house.
And have it shipped to your door by Lethal. Like, the fact that you can do this at home, have it shipped to your door, you don't even have to go anywhere major anymore. This is just
You really
unreal.
could install the kit if you were 15 years old. Like,
Yeah.
You could, if you just follow instructions.
Truthfully.
The instructions are so very clear.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome.
We were talking about it, but Jess really could have installed this herself if we were just sitting back watching and like hanging out. Like, it's really not bad of an install whatsoever. Inlet temps, even after playing with it, still sitting at 89. It's 84 outside. 5 degrees over ambient is unbelievable for a supercharger. We are doing good with cooling. It's humongous. Oh, let's go. That's how you know you're in Atlanta, dude.
Yeah, the shiesty one too.
He had the shiesty in the scat. Oh, yeah, this is actually atrocious, dude. I'm just driving it like I normally would drive. It literally was enough for it to say like you're gonna get in a crash, cuz. Do you hear it echoing for like multiple like layers of distance?
All the trees.
Dude.
All the buildings.
All right, let's stop that log. We're gonna pop the hood. Let's give her a glance, see what it looks like in there. Before we go Watt, we just wanna give a double visual inspection. Fluids look good there. Need a little bit of coolant, it looks like. I'm gonna pull back the coolant reservoir. Kaboom. Pour in some coolant, i.e. distilled water. Dude, let's get it. We're gonna hop on the highway here in Mexico, do a few little test hits. Just gotta make sure we get a good data log to send over to the tuner. Other than that though, everything looks solid. We don't have a check engine light on, nothing looks out of the ordinary. It's driving great. All right, here's gonna be the first hit. You ready? Let's get it.
Oh, she really gets down.
She really scooting.
You can see the whole car just like picking up and squatting down.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, not too bad at all. We just rolled into it from the bottom. Check air fuel ratio. 10.2 under Watt.
Yo. It's so freaking smooth and quick.
Woo! Dude, it really goes. I'm processing processing. Also checking to make sure that nothing's misfiring, making sure out of the back we're not seeing any detonation. Again, this is the first wide open pull, so we're not on a dyno. And this is an out the box tune, so I'm just checking over everything. Oh my gosh. Bro, it really kind of moves.
I was looking at the back, and when you shifted, you left black marks.
Oh, for real? What? Woo! Dude, it feels not bad at all. Damn.
This is the biggest pulley, brother. This
Dog.
is low and slow as it can be.
In effect though, yeah, this is a stock tune on the lowest boost possible, only on 93, and this is not where Coyotes shine at it. Oh. Dude, it kind of gets down though. Feels so super healthy, dude. So super healthy. Temperatures look amazing. We're doing hits, we're only 10 degrees over ambient air temp. Shit, it really kind of scoots though. Oh no, no way. Oh, that doesn't get better. You weren't ready for that, I guarantee you. Nope.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Oh, he's upset. Oh, he's upset. Wow, you loser. That was on purpose. He was in the left lane. He was in the leftmost lane and then literally got off right there. He was not planning to get off. He saw the GoPro and the Mustang and said no. He was wide first.
Wow.
I honestly have nothing to even say to that. That's insane.
Wow, he really dipped. He saw that and was like, no.
Dude, that was so fast. Are we for real? Like, I don't even want to go. Oh, what? He had his girl in the car. He said, hell no. There you go. This thing has Corvettes running and hiding that fast. This thing is definitely faster. And we have 3 people in here. Dude, it feels so good now. Such good memories of the drag car now. Feels like we're starting a whole new era with this thing. All right, let's go ahead and stop this data log. And there we go, ready to send these back to Whipple, and hopefully we'll get a revision, but honestly, it feels great as it is. Wow. Dude. Let's go. Guys, that officially concludes our video boosting the S650 with the new Whipple Supercharger. Huge shout out yet again to Lethal Performance. Use code it's just 6 at lethalperformance.com. You could be making your car as epic as this thing, if not even cooler using their stuff, man. I can't even believe this. This is just truly ridiculous. Powder coated Whipple. Brand new S650 Mustang, stick shift. This is like as good as it gets, man. Thank you so much for helping me put this thing together, brother.
You have badass Mustangs right now. It's the newest Mustang, and I think the best package, stick shift, manual performance.
I agree, dude.
Brakes, all that stuff. It's like a GT350 with GT500 power we were talking earlier, and it's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's sick.
All right, guys, before we go anywhere, this is the final step, dude. Oh my. Yo. Bam, baby. This is the last official step, dude, actually. There we go. Whipple Supercharged. You guys gotta comment down below. Let us know what you wanna see with this new S650 next time. You gotta go figure out how to get this on a dyno. Then we gotta go race some people. I really wanna see how fast it is stacked up to other cars. But for now, guys, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys next video.
Supercharged 5.0, supercharged 5.2.